Hey guys, Pankaj here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to continue NumPy part 2. So those who are watching this video first time, I would suggest please complete NumPy part 1 first, then you come back to this video. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand what I'm going to talk. Let me share my screen. Okay, so in previous video, I have covered up to converting one dimension array to n dimension array, right? That is matrix reshaping. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about how to create array of strings. So let's start with the example. So the way you are identifying or you are writing the array for integer or float, right? Same way you can create with the strings as well. So as I mentioned, NumPy array are heterogeneous, not heterogeneous, homogeneous array, right? So if you have integer, all should be integer, or if you have float, all should be float. If you have a string, all should be string. Okay, so here is the example. Let me run this. So remember, if you have mix of values, right? Let's say string and integer. So string type will take the high priority. So other integer will automatically get typecasted to integer. Sorry, string. Okay, so I'm going to show an example. Then I'll be talking about what is this data type. Okay, so let's create another array. So here what I'll do, I'll just add some more variable 1, 2, 3, and some integer and some string, right? So let's see what happened. So what it will do, it will convert these integer also to a string type, because string type will take the precedence over integer or float. Okay, so let it create. You see here, though I had given integer, but it has typecasted them to string type. Okay, so what is this data type? So this is nothing but U stands for Unicode and 21 is nothing but it is just a number. So this number can be anything, any integer number. Okay, I'll show some examples also what is the significance of this number. And this is nothing but little Indian and big Indian representation. So those who doesn't know about this, so I would say just Google it little bit and understand what it is. So in short, little Indian, big Indian is nothing but having MSB at the first or MSB at the last, or LSB at the first, LSB, that is least significant bit or most significant bit at the end or at the front. Okay. So yeah, so what I was talking is like if you have integer or float along with the string, so string will take the precedence and other data type will automatically get typecasted to string type. Okay, now let's take a look at this integer, this data type, how you can modify. So this, as I mentioned, this Unicode and this is number, like how many how many character it can hold at once. Okay, so assume that I'm just giving here A, B, C, D, E. Okay, and here assume that you have given data type. Let's take D type equal to U, and let's say I take 3, right? So it means it is going to be truncating all the character whatever is having more than 3 character. Okay, so these are having less single character, that's fine, but what about those elements which is having more than 3 characters? This is going to be truncated. It is going to have only A, B, and C. Okay, so let's run this and see. D type. Why this error? What is missing here? A, B, C, D. Oh, I forgot to put the close bracket. Okay, yeah, you see here. So I'm redirecting, or I'm giving instruction to this array like hold only max 3 character. Okay, not more than that. So those who are having more than 3 character or more than given number, it is going to be truncated. Okay, now another example is, as I mentioned, if you have anything other than integer, other than a string type, then that will be typecasted. So let's say you have this value as 3.5. So what will happen to this? This is also going to be typecasted as string type. Okay, so that's about this. Now let's say creating array of string with other data types. So I think this is already covered. That is nothing but this, giving data type with different number. Okay, so I'm just going to paste here. Okay, so This angle bracket is nothing but, as I mentioned, it will be little linear or big linear, right? So you are free to use other bracket also. So let's say I can give this as well. Okay. So you will hardly notice any difference here, but internally, what computer understand, right? It will be changing the order of MSB and LSB. That's all it does. Okay, so let's see another thing. I'm going to delete this. Manipulating one element of an array and its impact on other element. Okay, so what is going to happen here? So this is nothing but, as I mentioned here, if you are having, let's say, a set of integer character as well, float as well as integer, right? So it is going to be typecasted. That is nothing but, it is already covered here. So you just manipulate any data and you see the impact. Everything got typecasted to string type. Okay, so let me just put it here. But most of the cases, right, you are going to handle either integer data type or float data type. You will hardly will be using string data type. Okay, but what about heterogeneous data? Let's say you have an array where integer is there, float is there, and string is there, right? So that's where your pandas library will come into picture. So which I'll be talking about pandas in the next video, or next to next video after completing NumPy. Okay, so let's see another one. Yeah, so you may notice I'll be using just inbuilt function, right? Why exactly it is used? So guys, NumPy is nothing but just it is basically using of all the given function and serving your purpose, whatever kind of data you are handling or whatever kind of project you are making, right? So it will be just manipulating all the data based on given functions. Okay, so you should understand how to use those functions, where to apply, how to use it. That's the only important thing. Okay, so next we have linearly spaced values. So far we are creating different integer values, right, using random integer function. Okay, so you have given some low value and high value. Between that, all the values will be randomly chosen. Okay, so what if you want to have linearly spaced value? What exactly linearly spaced means? Equally distributed difference will be there between minimum to high value. Okay, so for that we have direct function called a equal to np dot linspace. Okay, so let's see what it does. So this is going to take a start, stop, and we have, like, by default it is going to generate 50 different numbers, okay, between start and stop. Okay, endpoint 2 by default endpoint will be including. In case you want to exclude, then you just make it false. Okay, and data type and x is also, this I'll talk about later. So I'm going to use between 1 to 10. I want to have value, right? So what it will do, between 1 to 10 equally, it will distribute 50 different numbers, and that is what is this. So whatever array it is providing, that is nothing but 50 different values. Okay, so now let's take another example. So between 1 to 10, I want exactly total 15 numbers. So 15 equally distributed values will be given as an array between 1 to 10. Okay, so if you see here, between 1 to 10, right, by default last value or the end value is also getting included, but there could be some cases where you don't want to include them, right? So for that we have something called endpoint equal to false. So you see here up to 9 or just before 10, whatever possible values which is equally distributed is coming, that is going to be given. Okay, so that's about linear space value. These things will be helpful when you are going to create a lot of graphical things related to signal processing and all time-based data, right? So that's where you will be using linear space. So other than linear space value, we have something called logarithmic space. Okay, so for this also we have direct function. So let's take a look. So what it will do, it will take the log of those values and array will be created. Okay, so instead of linear space, you just mention log space. Very simple, similar function to the linear space. Only thing is it is going to calculate the log of those values. Okay, and rest of the parameters are same. Start, end, you see here, num, endpoint. Okay, so let's talk about how to create various kind of arrays, right? So those things will be helpful when you are going to do a lot of matrix related operation, right? So let's say you would like to have zeros. Okay, so what we can do, we have direct function called zeros. Np dot zeros. Let's see what it does. So zeros, what it take? It just take the shape. Okay. So and data type, order C, those things are common. As I mentioned, right? NumPy function, almost all the function will have these parameters available. Okay. So let's say I give shape as 2. Okay. So let's see what it gives. So 2 is nothing but it is just going to provide me 2 elements. Okay. So now let's say you would like to have, I want to have 2 by 3. Will it give? Okay, so cannot interpret 3 as data type, right? So it needs shape. So guys, remember shape is always a tuple. Okay, so instead of giving 2 comma 3, you should give as a tuple. So 2 rows and 3 columns, correct? Similarly, you can have 5 by 5. It is all based on your requirement. So it will be creating one square matrix 5 by 5, where 5 rows and 5 columns will be there filled with zeros. Okay, so similar to this, we have another function called ones. Okay, so let's see what ones does. I'm just waiting for this help window to open. Yeah, once again, as zeros, it is taking shape and data type, right? So it will be just filled with one. Instead of 0, it is going to fill with ones. So I'll just take one example, 3 by 3 matrix with filled with ones. That's all. Okay, next is identity matrix. So guys, those who doesn't know about matrix, right, I would suggest just Google it and brush up your knowledge about matrix. Then you will easily understand all those things, what I'm talking, zeros, ones, identity, I matrix, empty matrix. Okay, so identity matrix is always a square matrix. Okay, so here you don't have to really provide the exact shape. You just mention how many number you want, that's all. So let me just create it. Np dot identity. So I want number as 4, right? So it is going, since it is a square matrix, so definitely if you are giving 4, then 4 rows, 4 columns will be provided, okay, as a square matrix. So in this identity matrix, always diagonal elements will be always 1. Okay, so if you want 3 by 3, then exactly 3 rows, 3 columns will be provided. Okay, let's talk about I matrix. So here what it does, not necessarily a square matrix, only diagonal elements are set to 1. So unlike identity, it will be exactly square matrix, right? But in I matrix, only diagonal elements are going to be set as 1. So even though you have 5 by 6, so under 5 by 6, whatever diagonal elements are coming, that is going to be set as 1. Okay, so let me just show one example. Np dot I want 3 by, let's say, 5. Okay, so what is this? Why it is not giving output? It has come, right? Yeah, so and return 2D array with ones on the diagonal and zeros elsewhere. Okay, so whatever diagonal comes first, so this and its diagonally opposite element will be this, and this for this particular element, diagonally opposite value will be this. Okay, after that, nothing, there's no element, right? So other than these, whatever elements are coming, that will be by default set as zeros. Okay, that is what is your I matrix. Okay, let's talk about empty data. So we have np dot empty. What it does, let's take a look. It is going to fill all the random data for empty matrix. Okay, so let's see what it takes. It takes shape element and again data type, right? So I'm just going to provide shape as, let's say, 3 by 3. So in case you are going to it has taken 1 by 1, so that's okay. Let me take 5 by 5. So random value could be anything. So earlier it was giving 1, then now 0. It could have some other garbage value also. Okay, so it depends on the system. When you run, you may get some different values. Okay guys, so this will be required when you are going to try something on, let's say 4x5 matrix, 5x4 matrix. Just generate random data, that's all. Or if when you don't care about any kind of data, then go with empty matrix. Okay, let's talk about transposing an array. So what basically transpose is? Transpose is nothing but, let's say you have any array where 2 rows, 3 columns are there, right? So you would like to convert row as a column and column as a row. That's where transpose will come into picture. Okay, so for this, I'm going to generate a matrix. So A equal to np dot random dot randint. So I'm going to create 1 to 20. I want to have, let's say, 3x4, that is 12 different random values between 1 to 20. Okay, and I'm going to reshape here only by, since 12 elements are there, so I can have 3x4, 4x3, 6x2, or 2x6, or 12x1, 1x12. Okay, so let me create 3 rows and 4 columns. Okay, yeah, so you see here 3 rows and 4 columns, correct? So this is the by default matrix. Now you would like to transpose, right? So we have direct function np dot transpose. What do you want to transpose? A. Okay, so see what happened. Earlier we have okay, so to understand better, let me just print A and its attribute A dot shape. Okay, so this is a matrix where 3 rows and 4 columns are there, and that's what is your shape, 3x4. Now after providing, let's say I'm storing in B and print B, print B dot shape. See here, so row got converted to column and column got converted to row. You can see here, so 11 14 9 4, 11 14 9 4. So earlier this particular list was as a row, now here list got converted to column. Okay, so that's what is the transpose. So you can, there are 2 ways to transpose. Either you can use inbuilt function, and there's one shortcut attribute called T. Okay, so you can also use v dot T, that stands for transpose. Let me just write for you. So whichever way is comfortable. This is my favorite because this is a short name, so I always use this. You guys can also use this. Okay, so let's talk about next, modifying array values, right? So this is also very important thing because you will be using a lot of times modification of the values of a given array in machine learning or deep learning. Okay, or especially in OpenCV for image processing. So I'm going to use np dot, I'll just take simple thing. Okay, so I just created array of random values between 1 to 20. Okay, so to modify array, if you guys remember, then list, right? In list, how we were modifying. Okay, so the best way is just use the index and assign some value, right? So same way, anyway, don't worry about indexing slicing. I'm going to cover it later, but just for you guys to remember, take the index. So I want to have, in NumPy we use in single bracket. Okay, so before comma, all row will be there, and here column will be there. Okay, so I'm going to modify this 14 as, let's say, 1400, right? So first you should understand what is the index of this 14. So this comes under second row, that is, this is 0th row, and this is the first row, that is second row. Okay, and column wise, this is first column and this is second column, this is 0 and first. Okay, so 14 is present in second row, or sorry, first row and first column, correct? If you are going to put, it is going to return 14. So now to modify this, I'm going to make it some assignment. After that, you print it. Okay, that's how you modify the value. It's pretty simple. Just you should know what is row and column, and just give some value as assignment operator. Okay, so now let's talk about splitting an array. So this is also very important. Let's say you have very large amount of data in a simple array, right? And you want to process like first half and second half, row wise and column wise, right? So that's where we will get horizontal split and vertical split. So I'm going to take similar example here. Okay, so I'll take 3 by 4. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so here how many columns are there? 2 column, 4 column. So this I'm going to divide horizontally, right? So for horizontal, same number of rows should be there. In case you would like to, let's say you don't have same number of rows, so what will happen? Let's try to do something, then you will understand. I'm just going to call a dot h split in 2 parts. Will it work? Let's have a look. Okay, np dot a. See here, missing one required positional argument, indices or section, correct? So let's have a look. It's an array and indices or sections. So I'm just going to divide into 2 parts. Will it work? Exactly. So 17, 7, 15. Okay, that's fine. And here 9. And yeah. So horizontally it has divided. So this particular part, let me use pen if I can use it. So this is your first part horizontally, and this is your another part vertically. Sorry, horizontally, right? So since equal number of columns are there, that's why it was able to split. Okay, so let's take a look at another one. I'm going to change the order, okay? Then we'll see what happens. Where is the mouse? Okay, so I'm going to give 4 by 3. So now this time 3 columns will be there and 4 rows. 4 by 3, and again I'm going to split it. Will it work? See here. It is going to throw an array. Why? Because array split does not result in equal division, right? So that is the reason it is very much important. Like you should have equal number of columns during horizontal split. Let me erase. Yeah. Okay. So remember guys, during horizontal split, same number of columns should be there, and exactly opposite for vertical split. Okay. So let's try to do vertical split. I'm going to comment it. So in this case, I'm going to take, because for vertical split, same number of rows should be there. So you see here, total number of rows are 4, which you can easily divide, right? So I'm going to put a dot vertical split, np dot v split a and 2 parts, right? Now you see here. So it will take the first, let me highlight once again. Okay, so in the vertical split, you will be, you are going to take this particular set of values, and another set of values will be this. So vertically it is going to be splitted, okay, in 2 parts, 2 equal parts. So since same number of rows can be done by using 4 number of rows, right? So definitely it is able to split. That's why you got 4 equal number of matrices. Okay, so let me erase it. Okay. Now, will you be able to split when you have 3 by 4? It is going to throw same number of same kind of error, right? So let's do that. 3 by 4, and here I'm going to split. It is going to throw a same error, right? So that's how you understand about vertical split and horizontal split. I'll comment it, you guys can run it. Okay, so horizontal split, left to right columns, top to bottom rows. That's what we did here. Let me copy paste table. This was horizontal split, and now V split. Okay, so let's talk about stacking of arrays. So now you saw the split, right? Big array, you can split into either horizontally or vertically into equal number of arrays, right? Similarly, let's say you have 2 or 3 different arrays, right? How you can stack them up and make a single matrix, okay? So for that, I'm going to take small example, A equal to np dot array. And here I'm going to create a small array 2 by 2, and it is going to have 2 rows, 2 matrix, right? So I'm going to have 2 rows. So first row contains 1 2, and second row contains 3 4, right? This is my A, and B is exactly similar to this. So I'll take 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Okay, so here is your print. Where it went? Yeah. Print A, print B. Okay, so A is 1 2 3 4 and B is 5 6 8. So these two are different matrices. I want to add both the matrices together or stack them up and create a single matrix. Okay, so how you can do that? So there are two ways. Either you can do vertical stack or horizontal stack. So let's see the horizontal stack first. Horizontal is left to right. So we have np dot h stack A comma B. So what it does, okay, so number of argument has to be there in single. Okay, so you take left to right. So 1 2 3 4, that is first one. Let me highlight this one. So you see here 1 2 3 4, that is the leftmost, and rightmost will be 5 6 7 8. So the way you have written in that order, right, same order it will be stacking up. Okay, so let's take a look at vertical stack. Where is my mouse? Okay, yeah, so all you need to do is instead of H, you just put V, vertical stack. So on the upside of the stack, right, the first array, whatever you're going to put, that is going to be put, and next will be your other array, right? So A will be on top and B will be on bottom. So you see here 1 2 3 4 and 5 6 7 8. That's how you're going to stack. So this will be helpful when you have large set of data divided into multiple part, right? So it is not just A, B, you can have multiple arrays. But remember, if you're having vertical stack, same number of columns should be there. If you are having horizontal stack, same number of rows should be there. Okay. Yeah, so other things we'll see tomorrow. Still lot many things are pending. So I have, as I mentioned, right, I'm going to break into 3 4 parts. Otherwise in one shot it will be too much for you guys. Okay, so I would suggest please complete this first, then let's work on other functionality. So we'll see tomorrow, like flattening array, repeat and tile, and other functions. I think we should be able to wind up tomorrow. Okay guys, so happy learning. Thanks a lot for watching. So those who have not subscribed my channel, please do subscribe. Okay, and leave out the comment if you would like to see some other function, how it works, and what and all different examples you would like to see. Please comment on the comment box. Thank you. Bye bye.